Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem HaKodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Accuser who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushua, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Accuser, and this video, man, is about the times that we're in and the times that we're heading into, because there is a lot going on right now, and things will continue to escalate. Things aren't going to slow down. Things aren't going to get better. We're in that time. And the brother GMS Watchman posted this: "You're a clown and we know what you're doing." All right, now this statement, besides the video that I'm about to play that he uploaded, is in general, and it is referring to Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all right, who is the devil the Bible speaks of, the deceiver. All right, we know what Esau is doing, right? Those of us who have the eye salve given to us from Yahweh Shemishai. As the scriptures say in 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, right? And Esau is also referred to as Satan, which is the adversary. The adversary to who? Yahweh Shemishai and the Israelites. All right? Esau, as well as the rest of the heathen, are enemies unto the Lord and the Lord's holy chosen people. Psalms 83 lets us know that. So we're not ignorant of his devices, man, of Satan's devices, of Esau's devices. His devices are psyops, deception, lies, and everything of the sort. Okay? We must remember the nature of this creature that we're dealing with. In Psalms chapter 10 and verse 7, it says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. So his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Straight to the point. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. And when you go into this word vanity here, it's H205 in the Hebrew. All right. Awan. It says trouble, wickedness, sorrow. Right? So under his tongue is mischief and wickedness. And this is who and what they are, man. Okay, they are natural born liars. Psalms 58 and verse 3, the wicked. And who is the wicked? Esau, Edom. Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4 lets us know that Esau is the border of wickedness. They are the wicked, man. These so-called white people, they are the ones that are in rulership. This is their kingdom. And they don't establish righteousness. They don't establish the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shemishai. They do the complete opposite. And look at the state of the world that it's in. The scriptures say that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. The people are in mourning. That's why the people are protesting all around the world, which these protests are uproars of the people around the world, which is a sign of the end of Esau's kingdom. So the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So Esau cannot help it, man. This is his nature. This is how he is built. This is how Yahweh Shemishai created them. This is their spirit, the spirit of lies and deception. And right now he's in full flight. Okay? He's going full all out with this nature that he is born with. Okay? The deception is at an all-time high right now. Things that are seen, you have to keep on guessing. Okay? And then the scriptures say to never trust thine enemy. So when you see things happening, you have to double guess it. And then social media is continuously exposing Esau for his lies and his deception. And then it makes you wonder if the whole situation in Nepal, where they banned the social media for quote unquote misinformation that is going out was a testing ground to see how the people would potentially act due to it. And then what happened in Nepal is that the people went out into the streets and caused chaos. Okay? But Esau wants this kind of chaos to happen as well. Remember, this is their kingdom. In Job chapter 9, verse 24, it says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So when it comes to these narratives that you see out there, Esau controls both sides of the narrative. All right, the only place that you can find the real truth is with the prophets of Yahweh Shim and Shai, starting with the elder apostle Tahar of Great Millstone, and then all of those that follow going down the chain. All right, that's the only place you can find the truth, man. Okay, because everything else around us is just built with lies and deception. But the thing about it is that the scriptures say that you cannot deceive the elect. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 24, for there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And it is not possible. They can't deceive the elect, man. All right? That's why it says if it were possible, because it's not. The elect cannot be deceived by the things that are going on. Okay? So, going back to this video, all right, Esau is just being exposed. Okay? And once again, he's being exposed on the social media, despite what it is, the narrative that he's putting out there on his mainstream media.
All right, everybody. Class is in session. I don't know why you want to believe this is real, but here we go. So the guy's going to get up. He opens it, looks like a nail file, but right? Yes, he makes it look a little physical, throws the hat off. Now all the stabbing or whatever was up here, right? So I don't see one drop of blood, nothing. I see some blood on from probably a packet he opened up, but look, when she gets up, there should be blood all here on the seat, but no. Right there where she was sitting. Did he stab her down there? Was it that time of the month? It makes no sense. And look, she's strong enough to have her hand up here, which is amazing. Look, she's gripping onto the thing. Okay, so let's go to part 2. Let's open this up. Now watch how fake this is. Watch. She's falling down. She's falling. There's that blood again, right? Now look, her hand is still up there. Now she's going to reach for something here. Look, she's reaching for something. Look. And then her hand, and then she squirts whatever the fuck that was. Blood doesn't work that way, right? Why did it stop squirting? Because it was in a packet. Guys, this is so fucking easy. Up. Now watch how fake this is. Watch. She's falling down. She's falling. There's that blood again, right? Now look, her hand is still up there. Now she's going to reach for something here. Look, she's reaching for something. Look. And then her hand, and then she squirts whatever the fuck that was. Blood doesn't work that way, right? Why did it stop squirting? Because it was in a packet. Guys, this is so fucking easy. And then the guy comes here with a cowboy hat on. I hope I didn't miss him ready. There it is. Pentagram. There's your pentagram. Devil worship. What happened to all that? Look, the blood exploded out and it just stood there still. Where's all the blood? How did she have the power to reach for whatever that was up there? I wish I could go back. I can't go back, but you'll see it. Okay? Guys, for those of you that want to believe it, Benny Oldest, for those of you guys who want to believe it, I don't know why you want to believe it. It's divide and conquer. It's the same old shit.
There's no new thing under the sun, man. It's the same old tactics that Esau's using. And, it is about, when the brother says we know what you're doing, it's that we know that Esau is creating dissension. And Esau is building hate towards right? Jacob, the Israelites. This is what they're doing, man. That situation yesterday with Mark Kirk, that's his name, right? The Edomites are acting up and acting out about it. They're very upset. And for some reason, their hate is being directed towards Jake. They're blaming Jake for it, for whatever reason. But that's just their perpetual hatred that is built within them, that goes back to Esau and Jacob, when Jacob supplanted Esau for the blessing. All right. But Esau is intentionally creating dissension and chaos and hatred towards the Israelites. Because right now it's psyops and deception and lies and all these types of stuff, but eventually it is going to lead to the sword. All right? And you Israelites out there who do not believe in Yahweh Shemishai, you're the ones that are going to be the ones that are going to be suffering from that sword when it is unleashed. All right? All the deception at hand, man. And Esau is a false accuser. Okay? This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. And that's what Esau does, man. Okay? He is the accuser. He accuses us all the time. He bears false witness against us all the time and says, look, this is what they do, while setting us up and putting us in these types of predicaments. All right? And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. And who will overcome him? The elect of the nation of Israel, by way of Yahushai, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, talking about the so-called white man, the Edomites, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time, and he knows his time is short. His kingdom is coming to an end. And they knew their time was short the second that the prophets of Yahweh Shemishai were risen up, okay, and started to prophesy the downfall of his kingdom. Okay, Esau is very eager to unleash his NWO onto the world, and at the forefront of that is his microchip. So he's going to be bringing chaos and hell to earth, okay, to establish it. And he's prepping right now, okay. This social media as well has exposed Esau continuously, okay. Yahweh Shemishai has exposed him by way of the scriptures, by way of his prophets. And then the social media, which Yahweh Shemishai has created, is continuously doing things like this to show you what is actually going on compared to what is being ran and put out there by Esau's mainstream media. Okay? In Jeremiah chapter 49, and verse 10, it says, but I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So the Lord has made Esau bare, has exposed him for who and what he is. Okay? It's very clear. And even Israelites who aren't in the truth, who are even scoffers and scorners to us, they tired of Esau too. They're dealing with Edomite fatigue. We all dealing with Edomite fatigue. Because we're all dealing with the wickedness of this creature, man. The lies and the deception of it all. It's extremely tiring. Okay? And then you have, when it is that these exposés are coming out on Esau regarding, like on the social media and like a situation like this, as you can see, man, it was a so-called white man who did it, right? He looked like a so-called white man, but you know what? He could be an Israelite. I don't know. He just looked like a so-called white man because you are what your father is. And we have some of our people that look like the heathen, all right? Some of our people look like so-called white people. But
For those of you,
oftentimes, when you see the expose happening of a situation like this, it is people who look like so-called white people that are doing it. All right, and the scriptures do say, okay, tongue fall. Let me see. In Psalm 64 and verse 8, it says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Right, so their own tongue falls upon themselves. They be exposing one another, man. The Edomites. Okay? This is the kind of nation that they are. Look at what's happening on the global stage regarding World War III. This is an Edomite skirmish, Edomite arguments that are happening that are going to lead to World War III. You have on one end America, NATO, the EU, and the State of Israel versus Russia. These are all Edomite sovereign nations, man. And then you have Russia, who enlisted the aid of the rest of the heathen to help them on that side. But Esau is against himself. And the scriptures say that if Satan casts out Satan, he cannot stand but hath an end. All right? But then going back to this social media thing, man, because there's another video to bring out. All right, and look at this. This is the spirit. The brother GMS All Priestess Prophecy News, Charlie Kirk, On Alive, and Major Psyops. All right? Look at this. The Elder Malcolm, a critical race historical facts, tragically G down while accusing God's people fraudulently. The melting pot is about to boil over, aka Babylon, arrows of indignation, right? Because Esau is constantly creating these psyops to bring tension between the people. We're heading into the time of 2nd Ezra chapter 15, 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Okay? Look at this. The elder apostle Aram, the cruel Lord, is creating a recipe for disaster. Right? It's being built up. Esau's kingdom is literally descending into chaos, as I titled the video that I did yesterday. So we're heading into some very terrible times, man. We're heading into Jacob's trouble. And if you do not have the spiritual mark of exemption spoken about in Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 4, which is the Thawa, you are through. And salvation is only for the Israelites. Look at this. The slander before the slaughter, GMS Des Moines. Look at this. GMS KC Prophets 3. We are in the time of mass psyops. And it's true. You know? So brothers are speaking on this because we're all of one spirit. You know? And so here's the other video. Here. Right?
I think Trump's...
Going back to the whole social media thing. Exposing Esau continuously. And then the ban of quote-unquote misinformation, which, by the way, Esau has been working on this over the years, and it has been reported continuously. Esau has been, in fact, talking about the social media and putting restrictions on it and taking a certain level of control over the internet due to quote-unquote misinformation that is going out there. And for them, misinformation is anything that exposes them for who and what they are. And we know what it's all about. They want to stop this truth from going out onto the internet. As well as, you know, that is the primary thing, the truth. Okay? But also the fact that people are continuously exposing them in this kind of way. All right? And everybody, the way the world is right now, everybody is in tune with social media. All right? And people these days actually trust the social media of the everyday people bringing out this kind of information than the mainstream media. So this isn't, you know, a favorable position for Esau. So eventually, he's going to do away with it. Just like how they did to me, speaking as a man, a test run in Nepal. All right?
Marks in the White House was AI. I'm going to show you the glitch. I believe this is the reason why they're going to try and silence us on social media, because we do the investigative work and we share it.
It's true.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah.
Wait for it.
Charlie inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him
Watch.
and loved him are united in shock and horror.
Here.
Charlie was a patriot.
Did you see that?
Devoted his life to
Did
I
you
saw
see-
it. And even out the gate, the video itself, it does not look like, something about the color gradient is off out the gate. Compared to when, if you yourself can recall, you know, Trump or even previous presidents who have, you know, been in that same exact spot, what it looks like. It's all fake.
The jump?
open debate.
Did you guys see
The
the jump?
country that he loves united in
Watch.
shock and horror.
Right here.
Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to
I had comment after comment that it looked AI. And when I hopped on that live stream, the White House's live stream, I was like, the color is weird. It's brighter than normal. This doesn't even look like him. But then so many people messaged me like, I swear to God, it's AI. So I watched it like 5 times and saw the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Esau's kingdom is nothing but lies, deceptions, and psyops. All right. This place is through. Things are just going to keep getting worse, and they will bear false witness against the prophets of Yahweh Shemishai as well. We know that our persecution is coming. The scriptures say that the servant is not greater than the master, and look how they did Yahushai. The campaign, the slander campaign against us is, when they send it, it's going to go full, they're going to go full send with it once they start it. And I'm sure they will be using their AI and all of these types of things to falsely accuse us as well, because that's where it's at. The AI already can make it look like people, and the voices can match perfectly and all these types of stuff. All right, the only way to escape all of these things that are coming, and Esau, when he starts to unleash the sword in the most major way, is by way of Yahweh Shemishai. There's no other way to get out of this, man. There's no other way. All right. And I would implore, those that believe to be careful with how they interact with the social media. Be careful with how you interact with, the non-believers and stuff like that. It's probably just better to just stay to yourself, and then to those who believe. Okay? But really be careful with how you're interacting with the social media, because they got eyes everywhere and they're watching. Okay? They don't take nothing for them. Anyway, besides that, we're in some very heavy times, man. And so, Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12 says, 11, put on the whole armor of Yahweh Shemishai, that ye may stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Right? The wicked elite of Esau, Edom, and their witches and warlocks working on the left-hand side. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh Shemishai, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh Shemishai. More so than ever before, we are to dwell with our power man. And the scriptures say that as we have gone, in the book of Baruch, it says we have gone astray to seek him 10 times more. All right? Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all his saints. All right? So this is where we're at, man. All right? Things are just going to keep escalating. Things are just going to keep getting worse. And the famine of the word is on its way. That is clear. All right? I will not forget, or haven't forgotten rather, the brother who brought out the dream that somebody that he knows brought to him, of the elder Apostle Tahar doing his last live, saying this is his last live. Okay? It is coming soon. And the doors of mercy, the spiritual ark, is being close to being shut. So with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai by Shemaka Kodesh. Shalom.